Then what are you reviewing?
I don't know.
Just,
Oh, man.
questions I think the people are asking.
That's a big play, but the bigger issue for the Dallas Mavericks in this game is losing the fourth quarter 34-21. So we always focus on these big plays late in games, but Dallas had opportunities to win the game.
111-107, the final score as the Hawks win. But, of course, we do want to hear from Coach Carlisle on that final play.
Not quite sure what happened on the call. Goaltending was called, the whistle blew, players stopped. And then the basket was good after the whistle had blown, which is hard to fathom.
What explanation were you given out on the court? What did the referees tell you?
Not a sufficient one. Just a very disappointing way to end the game, where our guys fought their butts off from start to finish. It was a good block. I should have. My understanding is if it's a good block on a goaltend that's called and reversed, if there's no control or the other team gets it, it's a jump ball. So I don't know. It's baffling, disappointing.
Coach Carlisle pointing out that he was not given a sufficient explanation for that play. I think we're probably all waiting on that as well. But let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks as a whole, because this is still a team that's competing for playoff position. That, of course, is going to make this loss a much more disappointing one. Even if it doesn't come down to that play, it's still a 13-point lead blown in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's a big, Luka and Porzingis didn't play, but at the same time, you have to understand that's a chance for the second unit to grow and for to close this game on the road, which they should have won. To Coach Carlisle's credit, he's right. It should have just been jump ball, have a chance to win, and teams make runs. So you can't be upset that you blew the lead, but you want to see if your team can come back and get back in the game and at least get into overtime.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is a tough loss for Dallas with a chance to win because they had played really well early. They really struggled in this second half tonight. But we got to give credit to the Atlanta Hawks. This is a really nice win for Atlanta. It's always hard to play against a team where you're expecting to go up against Porzingis or Luka, and then all of a sudden they don't play. It has like a deflating effect in the locker room oftentimes, and that's a really challenging game. And going back to January 14th, these Hawks are 9-9. So they've made a lot of progress. Defense is still struggling. A lot of that progress has been on the offensive side of the ball. A really good win, comeback win for the Hawks tonight.
Yeah, they've won 6 of their last 7 at home, so they're certainly finding something. As we were talking about earlier, Earl, in a losing season, you have to find something to look ahead to, some hope to hold on to, and it seems like these young Hawks are starting to find that.
Yeah, every young team is post All-Star break. You're going to really see who you really are. You have the character on the team of players that's going to be there next year and what you need to add. You kind of seen Utah Jazz do that with Quinn Snyder when they had Gordon Hayward. They made a big jump after the All-Star break, and they carried over into the next season, and they end up becoming a playoff team.
Yeah, I think you get rid of those 55 games, right? The pressure of, oh, man, we're 20 games under 500. We're 25 games under 500. You're right. It's kind of a fresh start, look towards the future, got to improve, opportunity to play without pressure, right? Playoffs are out of the picture. It is an easier time to take a breath, look forward, and the Hawks have done a nice job.
But the record, this is interesting now because now we're talking basketball, right? We're talking basketball, we're talking front office. Some front offices will shut down players, so that record really doesn't matter because, you want the draft pick. So you never know which team you're going to get. I was lucky to have Jerry West and Hubie Brown. It was like, we're going to win, and we're going to be here. We don't give a about a draft pick.
Yes.
And he put us on spot to be accountable.
Trae, though, coming off of a 50-point game just a couple of days ago, are you pleased with what you've seen from what they're building around him?
Yeah, no, this Hawks team, I think the expectation, because the team played well the second half of the year, got a little ahead of themselves.
Yeah.
When you're that young, they got younger this year, to start the year at least, and with the exception of Vince, right? But that team...
But I don't know. I think he's actually getting younger also. So it's fair. Your point stands.
True. Very true. But, when you're this young across the board as the Hawks were, you're not going to win games in the NBA unless you're exceptionally... You're the exception at the highest level. And then you throw in the suspension, the unexpected suspension of John Collins for 25 games, and, I mean, you're rocked. This team made a number of nice moves at the trade deadline. Capella we haven't seen yet because of the foot, but Dedmon's going to be a nice piece for them going into the future. They had a ton of cap room. We know it's not a great free agent year. They decided to basically spend their cap room in trade a couple weeks ago. They've done a nice job. They just need time. Patience is one of the hardest things. They've done a good job. That group just needs time to come together.
There is a welcome to Atlanta Clint Capella billboard right over my exit. So I know the city's at least excited to have him. So I'm excited to see what he brings to the team as well. Let's go back and check on Giannis and the Bucks, because this game now in the fourth quarter with 2.5 minutes to go, 113-91. The All-Star Chris Middleton with 25 points in 31 minutes in this one. He's grabbed 9 rebounds as well.